This is the most requested guest we've ever had. It's Adam from Pottstown. We've been there since their first tournament in Sanford, Florida, and now 3 years later, we got him on the pod. We talked to Adam about starting his channel, how it got so big. We even asked him about some of his favorite Pottstown Scout Team moments. And he hinted at some big things to come this year. If you're a fan of Pottstown, you're going to love this episode of the Brolletts.
Hey, since this is a very special episode of the Brolletts, and we want to blow this episode up to show you how much we love Adam and Pottstown, we've teamed up with Chinook Seedery to give away sunflower seeds to the first 25 people that comment on this episode. Yes, we are giving away a free bag of seeds from Smokehouse Barbecue, Parmesan and Pepper, Jalapeno Ranch, Lemon Pepper with Bobby Witt, whatever you want. The first 25 people to drop a comment below about this episode, we're going to mail you some seeds courtesy of our friends at Chinook Seedery. Can't wait for you guys to check out this episode of the Brolletts. We're going to start this by playing a little game where you guys are going to try to guess the YouTube subs for some of the Pottstown guest coaches. We're going to see who can get a little bit closer and who has no idea. So it's just YouTube subs, so not Instagram, not TikTok, just YouTube subs. Let's start it off. We had these guys on the pod a couple weeks ago, the Bat Boys. So what's your guess?
I think they have a little over 100K, so maybe like 120,000.
I'm going to give them like 300,000.
Right in the middle, 180.
Wait, what did you say? What was your guess?
120.
Oh, okay. So you got me beat on that one. You got me beat on that one.
A little closer.
Yeah.
All right. So here's probably one of the bigger ones. Coach Rack. Adam, I'm going to let you go first on this one.
He's over $1 million. I'm going to get like 1.1 mil.
Like 400,000? 400?
400? You guys, again, kind of right in the middle. 609,000 on YouTube.
He's at 609,000?
Which is crazy. Like when I looked this morning, I was like, that's insane. Like I thought for sure he was, I think it's $1 million plus, obviously on Instagram and TikTok, but
yeah,
YouTube, man, much harder to get to that 1 million on YouTube, man. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go with, we interviewed this guy last week, Aiden McIntyre.
Oh,
you got first.
220,000.
I'll go 230.
Oh, Adam's got you beat. It's 241. So get us right there, man. Almost $250,000 right there. All right, we got two left. Schultz.
Am I going first?
I'll go. 270K.
I'll go 450.
Ooh, little high. 312.
Okay.
He's another guy. I think Instagram and TikTok is much more inflated because he's just got into long form. All right, last one. This guy I think was at the last tournament, right? Chips Performance. What are they doing on YouTube? I'll let you take the last pick here.
I've seen him recently, so like probably 25,000.
All right, so you got to be close then. I'll go 40,000.
You cheated somehow because it's 25.
It's 25 on the dot.
Did you see it on my sheet?
Wait, it's 25?
Yeah, it is 25.
Even, wow.
Even. That's insane. Man, you got some fun friends, man, with a lot of social media followers, which is kind of awesome. So great way to start. Thanks for playing along, and I'll let you
What about Eric Sim? We got him? We got a number on him?
I don't have a number on him, man, but what do you think? I'll look it up real quick.
You have a guess?
I think he's like close. You guys had an insane year in 2025. And as we're recording this, it's right near the end of 2025. And it's a great time to reflect. What are the 3 most unforgettable moments for you for 2025?
Ooh, 3 most unforgettable moments. I'll go 1. When we created Pottstown Natty, I thought that was really cool. We always try to come up with like new things that we can do to keep it fresh and fun for the kids. And so coming up with like a second team was like one of the coolest things for us. 2 other things. I'm trying to think. Wow, this is a lot harder than I thought, actually. Let's go with bringing back our 14U team. Mm-hmm. So that was our first time we brought them back. They were actually, fun fact, like that's the most viewed team that we've ever had. And it's actually by a pretty large margin as well. So bringing them back was cool. That group's a lot of fun. And we actually played them up in age group, which was fun. I would say this entire year was like mainly Pottstown. So I'm basically trying to think of everything Pottstown that we did. Maybe a little something that people don't think of too much, but we started like a Pottstown camp tour. And that's been like one of our opportunities to kind of go around the country and meet players and kids that we normally don't get to see. We're normally around the same places every time, like Sanford, East Cobb, but we got to go to Ohio for camp last week, and that was a lot of fun. So get to meet a lot of cool kids and players. And so I put that up there too. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that's a good one because, again, you only work with, 13 to 15 kids at a time, for a scout team. And so, yeah, to have a big group there, it's got to be cool to like now have that experience with more kids.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And, sometimes we don't get to see those players from those smaller states. So getting to do some of these camps there is pretty cool.
Let's start at the beginning. Before CS99 TV, you were making Magic videos and grew a pretty large channel there. How'd you get into Magic and why'd you start making YouTube videos about it?
So Rob and I, we were basically neighbors growing up. So we've been friends since elementary school. I don't really know how we got interested in anything like that, to be honest with you, but we just randomly started doing it, just like random card tricks. Even before that, we were making like gaming videos, like Minecraft videos as like in elementary school. And I think at that age, everybody wanted to be a YouTuber. So, but when we started creating card Magic, that was when we were getting a little bit older. I was into middle school at that point. Started picking up on things that like work for YouTube and kind of how do I get views? How do I like retain an audience throughout this video? So we started doing that and it really took off pretty quickly. I wouldn't say it was like the biggest channel in the world. We got to like 200,000 subscribers on there. And then heading into high school is when we kind of stopped doing it. So college was really the point where I said, you know what, I feel like I can make a YouTube channel out of sports, something that I like a little bit more than Magic. And COVID was kind of our outlet to do that. I got sent home from school, reunited with Rob back home, and just started creating some fun content. That was where TikTok really was at its peak, I would say, during COVID. So everything was going viral at that point. We got lucky, I would say, right place, right time, and never looked back since. So it's been cool.
Nice, that's fun.
You started to get a lot of subs and views with the Magic channel. What are some things you learned from that channel that you still apply to your videos today?
Yeah, I would say first and foremost, I think I learned a lot about, and this is stuff that I kind of learned in like school as well, but I kind of would dive into like the psychology a little bit of the videos and how do I get people to like click on videos? How do I get people to keep watching it? So I really got obsessed with like, how do I make the best possible thumbnails? What kind of titles are going to get people to click? And that obsession really just got me into like the whole YouTube atmosphere a little bit. So I would say anyone that's like passionate about YouTube, pretty much all the top creators are probably just like me, where they're just obsessed. They're always thinking of new ideas. And so I would say, one, Magic is a little bit about creativity, coming up with stuff that will blow people away. So I kind of brought that into the sports world a little bit. Just how can I get people to be entertained by something, and then how can I keep people watching throughout? And that's been the key for me. So yeah.
So then you started pretending to be baseball scouts, which are still some of the funniest videos online today. How'd the idea come up, and why do you think that found instant success with them?
Yeah, that was actually Rob's idea. When we started doing that, that was just like a fun kind of lighthearted thing. We would go around to baseball games, and it was pretty much like the younger baseball games too, like the age where there's absolutely no reason for a scout to be there. Funny enough, when we first did it, there were enough parents that actually like bought into it and like believed it at first. So I thought that was hilarious. I don't really understand completely why it went viral off the jump, but I guess it was funny. So we continued doing it. I would say by the second time we went out to a tournament to do that type of video, we were already just getting recognized as like the Pottstown Scouts, and that was where people started kind of just playing along with it. So the series didn't really last very long, to be honest, because it got to the point where everybody just knew who we were as soon as we pulled up. So it wasn't really, we weren't fooling anybody at that point. But yeah, no, I mean, that was one of the most fun series that we ever got to do. That was like the early part of our TikTok life. So I kind of wish sometimes we could go back to that, but I don't think we can roll into a baseball tournament undetected anymore.
I don't think that works. I've seen you guys get out of your car in Sanford. It doesn't work that way. What like was a lot of that? I'm sure just like unscripted, just you and your boys just having fun, talking smack, and it was just kind of organic, like just fun.
Yeah, 100%. The whole thing was organic, and a lot of it just feeds off of like what people would say to us. And so, but I would say like most of our group has a pretty good personality, so we would just kind of go in and just have fun with it. But yeah, definitely not scripted. We were definitely just having fun with it.
Makes for good content.
I don't think you have a big baseball background, but yet you're one of the biggest baseball content creator channels on all of social media. Why do you think you and your crew have been so good at making baseball content kids love?
I think about that question a lot, actually. I think it's funny because, yeah, you're right. I don't have a huge baseball background. I mean, I watched baseball, obviously, and I'm a sports fan, but it would be like the other guys in the group that really kind of played and know the most and played in college. So I do think it's funny that a tennis player is like one of the more known guys in the baseball content space, but I think it's like the perfect blend, like our group. When I went to college, I studied marketing, had a large background in creating YouTube content and just creating content in general. And so being able to blend that with like baseball guys that know what they're doing, baseball guys that have a great personality, and we kind of just blend really well together. We've all grown up as friends. So except for Squez, who just kind of like jumped in later on, but a great guy as well. So he fit in immediately. But our entire group, we've been friends since we were in middle school at the latest. So it's been a lot of fun just getting to reunite with like my childhood friends and do this together. We get to basically just show up and have fun for a job and for a living. So I think when you get to work with people that you care about and enjoy being with, it just makes it so much easier. So I just think the group dynamic works, and it's been a lot of fun, and we all just want this thing to grow and continue to get better. So
when did you guys decide you're going to create a team and play in a real tournament?
Yeah, so early when we were kind of like after the scouting days, a lot of our content was us going to tournaments and doing challenges and giveaways. So not that we had trouble getting teams to let us in and kind of create content with them, but we figured it would be a lot easier if we made our own team. And so that was basically the thought process when we first created the team. It wasn't really a ton about like having a huge impact on youth sports. It was more just like, how can we continue to create content and give stuff away, but not have to worry about another coach getting upset with what we were doing. So we just said, let's just create our own team. And then I think instantly we saw the feedback from the first team, and people don't really know this a ton. We don't talk about it a ton, but that first team that we ever did at Sanford, we didn't have a ton of sponsors on that team. We paid for a lot of the gear that we gave away on that team. And we lost probably like over $10,000 on that team. But after we got like feedback from it and seeing that people really enjoyed it, we just wanted to find any way to do it again. Wilson was one of the big sponsors. They immediately jumped on. They saw the vision. They supported it completely, and they said that they would hook up the teams moving forward. So that relationship has been really, really cool to be a part of. But yeah, I mean, now it's really cool just we get messages from parents and players all the time about, we get probably like a week ago, I got a message from a baseball dad that just was thanking us because Pottstown has like motivated his kid to keep working hard. And he would go watch a video with his son, and then immediately after, his son wants to go and practice. So that's been cool. Sometimes we don't really see that impact when we're just like with our players, but it definitely exists. And yeah, we just hopefully we can keep doing it. It's been fun though.
The first time he met you was at the first tournament at Boomba. What did you learn from that first tournament, both the good and the bad, that has helped you turn this into something you do multiple times per year?
Yeah, I would say the one thing that we probably preach the most is we don't really care about like our bottom line as much with Pottstown. It's not really about making money for us, to be honest with you. And that's why when we lost $10,000 on that first team, that we just didn't really bat an eye at it. We invest a lot in just creating a really cool player experience. And so I would say on the good side, it's like we know that we can create something for these kids that they'll remember for a long time. Even for the players that get to play against us. I mean, some don't love it, I would say, but some definitely appreciate that opportunity and come up to us and say it was a lot of fun. So I think seeing that side is cool. And then, I mean, we get it all the time. There's definitely the coaches that are a little more old school, that a little more traditional. And we respect that, that just don't love what we do. They don't appreciate the cameras and whatnot. But, at the end of the day, we're going to continue doing what we do. I think we do it for the right reasons. And so we have fun with it. And I try, we don't try to bother too many other people with it. So hopefully we're kind of shifting. We have some plans for 2026 where, maybe we'll have some of our own events and stuff like that. So maybe a little bit of a teaser. Maybe I shouldn't have leaked that, but whatever.
Do you think you're a distraction at these tournaments?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not going to lie. But I don't think all distractions are bad. I think that for a lot of players in there. I would say it depends on your outlook. I think a lot of coaches would look at us and say that we are a distraction to their team. At the end of the day, we're typically playing in 12U, 13U baseball tournaments. I don't think the outcome of a 12U, 13U baseball tournament is going to make or break any individual player's career, or it's not the end of the world. That's how we approach it. It's not really the end of the world, and I think sometimes people view it that way. We are just very big on that's the age group where you're supposed to have a lot of fun and just enjoy it. And so maybe we're a bit of a distraction. Maybe we're not. I would say we are. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess for you, I mean, you've played against us. How did you feel about kind of being on the other side?
I didn't feel much, really. It was kind of just like normal game, felt like. But then, like, you had all the people on the side, and some of our team was talking about that. Like the foul ball, like, your team hit, it was right to all the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. There's like a split, like being in the stands for that one. Like all the kids are rooting for Pottstown. All the parents were rooting for us because they're like, who are these guys bringing their cameras out here? You know, so it was like a house divided. So all down the first base line where you guys were.
We were running a lap, and then like all the fans were like, you suck, Pottstown's going to win, like stuff like that.
Is that actually the fans were saying that?
Yeah, well, they were like, Pottstown's going to win. Like, let's go, Pottstown. Like, they just kept talking to us when we were running.
Okay, I got you.
It's all good, clean fun, though,
yeah,
for the most part, which is, but at the other side, you're still giving a spotlight to the other team. Like, you know, like we get people all the time, you know, the game that you guys played against each other, like people still reference that game all the time, you know, and he just did a tryout for a new 13U team, and they scouted him by watching that game, you know, because in that video, you made like 7-8 plays on defense. That's a good, like that's exposure for the opposite team, you know, when good things happen.
Absolutely.
People still talk about the grand slam from Nando, you know, and just so while obviously you're there for Pottstown and the Pottstown brand, like if the other teams do what they're supposed to do, which is play good baseball, you put the other team into the video, you know, your videos don't make them look bad.
Well, actually, probably in one of the earliest tournaments, I don't remember which one it was, but we actually had one of the players in the opposite team either hit like a double or triple, something like that, and the mom actually came up to us and asked, like, are we going to cut that out of the video? And the answer was no. Like, we're going to show the entire game, like whether we win or not, like we're going to show the game. I think there's a lot of value in showing like our team not always doing so great. I mean, that's the reality. In fact, like our last tournament, we did not win, and that's fine. Like, you can't win every single game.
Well, and sometimes it's not just you doing great, but the other team's also allowed to play good. Like that's what, as a coach, like that's what I try to tell about baseball is you can hit the best hit of your life, but the outfielder can make a diving play and make the best play of his life. It's like, that's baseball, you know, and that's the beautiful part about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I want to talk a little bit about social media, branding, stuff like that, because obviously you're putting a lot of 12, 13, 14-year-old kids on camera, some of them for the very first time, some of them are on social media, but like, what are some things that maybe you talk to these kids about and tell them like, hey, like you have an opportunity over the next couple days, you know, you're going to be on camera, you're going to have the spotlight, you're going to be mic'd up. Like, what are some things that you tell them about social media to maybe where they can learn from it or leverage it or grow from it? Because it is an opportunity for a couple 100,000 people are going to see this video, you know, like that's a big opportunity for some of these kids.
Yeah, I think when we come into most of these tournaments, we recognize that social media is not for everybody. Some don't appreciate it, and we don't want it to be the case where, you know, if you don't want to leverage this opportunity and you don't want to have this large presence on social media because you're maybe too young for it or you're not ready for it, that we don't push that on anybody. But it's one of those things where we leave it up to the player. If you want to take advantage of this opportunity, you want to kind of build a platform, like we'll be there to help you. And if you don't, and you kind of just want to be a player on the team and just kind of like go through the experience, and then when it's over, that's cool too. At the end of the day, I think being on social media, like there's a lot of good and there's a lot of bad. And I don't think that ever changes. I think that especially for the younger players, when you put them out there on social media, it's like there's going to be a ton of haters. It exists, and our players typically handle it pretty well, I would say, especially for their age. I think they handle it extremely well, but we tell them all the time, if they ever need anything from us, if they ever want any advice, or if they do want to grow and kind of get some, you know, potentially some NIL deals at some point and use that platform for that purpose, that, you know, we'll be there to help them and guide them through that process. But we see the posts all the time. Like we see our posts, we see the posts that they put out. There's going to be a lot of cases. It's grown adults that are leaving some pretty hateful messages on their posts. And at the end of the day, like the thing that we tell them is, most of these people don't know you. Like they don't know who you are. They don't have all the context in the world. They're just seeing a short clip online, and it's not worth listening to what they have to say. Like if they don't know you well enough, then they don't have the ability to give a value judgment on you. And that's the case. Like sometimes I don't always give, at least on our posts, like I don't blame the people that sometimes are leaving like these weird comments at times, but they're given what they see on that post, and sometimes it can look worse than maybe it was, or there's just not a lot of context to that post. But sometimes it's just straight up unwarranted hate. So it's going to happen no matter what. It's what we tell them, like, no matter what you do in life, if you post something online, it doesn't matter who you are, what you do, someone is going to find a way to hate on you. And a lot of that time it's rooted in jealousy. So just laugh it off, be able to move on from it. And, what's the saying? If you have haters, you're doing something right. So, but yeah, I would say from a social media side, our players take it pretty well. And, but they know if they ever need anything that we're here to help. So,
which Pottstown players do a good job of using social media?
Like you want specific names?
Or just like anything you're like, man, like Chris Cabrera just does a great job of, I'm just using him as an example, but like, just, are there any people that stand out of just like, man, like they came in here, they played for us, and like, they've actually like learned some stuff and have utilized what we helped them to start?
Yeah, I think a lot have done that. I think one off the top of my head, Caden Borcherding has been incredible with it. He has completely, and most of our players do this, but they embrace, like, once you play on Pottstown, it's not just, it doesn't go away after the tournament. There's still a ton of kids that go on his posts and say that they're huge fans of his, and he's very, very kind back to them. So I would say he's done an incredible job. We pay attention to his social media, and brands pay attention to that. I think he just signed with Baseball Lifestyle, so that's really pretty exciting for him. Aiden Carney, same thing. A lot of those guys on that oldest team. But a ton of players. I mean, I can go for hours and hours. Even like some of our younger teams, Braden Worthen has been awesome with it. And again, some just like want to play on the team, and then when it's over, they'll let it be. And then some just really, really embrace it. And they'll continue posting on social media, and they'll kind of embrace like having fans at that young age. And some just aren't ready for it, and that's cool too. But it's fun just seeing how every player approaches it after the tournament. So.
Yeah, I think that's part of the cool thing about what you guys do is like, because it's long form, because it's YouTube, like that original 14U team still gets views every day, right? And like we're going to talk a little bit about the business side of the content in just a second, but just jumping to it, like I think you said like $10,000 loss, which there probably was at the moment, but over time, I bet AdSense is more than paid for itself because those videos are still getting views, because someone might see the new team and then go back and watch 20 of your videos, right? And I think that's
absolutely, yep.
That's like the beautiful part is like you said, like once you're Pottstown, you're like Pottstown for life, because those videos, that's like an evergreen catalog.
Absolutely.
Especially as you continue to grow, your new fans will go back and check out that catalog. So that's got to be a cool part of the business, is like you have this long form catalog that continues to grow and continues to help those players, but also you guys as a business.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. And even I find myself going back and watching some of those old videos. There's been a progression in our content, I guess, over time. We try to improve the production quality and kind of what we do, but I do appreciate going back at some of the early videos and seeing how we did it. But yeah, those videos still get views to this day, which has been pretty cool. In fact, I think I was looking back at this point now, like towards the end of 2025, seeing some like the most viewed videos of this year, and some of them are very much videos that we posted 2 years ago. So yeah, I mean, people kind of, they dig the Pottstown stuff, and sometimes it's a little nostalgic going back and seeing some of the OG teams. So
let's talk about the content side of Pottstown tournament weekend. Do you guys have a plan of what stories you want to tell going in, or do you just have the games as the main content and the rest is just organic moments?
Yeah, I would say we probably go into every tournament. We're like, okay, we're going to have a really good plan as to the content that we're going to put out. And then we show up and we don't actually put a plan together. We are probably one of the most unorganized groups that you'll ever meet when it comes to that kind of stuff. We allow it to be very organic once we get on site. but something always happens. Like something is going to happen in that tournament that is really exciting, and you just don't know what it's going to be until it happens. A lot of it is hard, and like people, it's not scripted. Like we don't script anything that we do. It's very natural, and we just let it play out. But we do try to plan stuff. It just doesn't really work out when we actually get on site. I mean, there's times where it's like, oh, we'll play in a game and we're like, okay, inning 4, we're going to try this little challenge, and the game never makes it to the 4th inning. And so sometimes we just can't control that stuff. We also will say we want to do this challenge during a game, but the game is like very, very competitive. We're just going to let the players do their thing. And we're not going to like mess around right now. We're going to let them enjoy it and just kind of have fun with this. So it really depends on the game. Sometimes we, especially now, I guess more than ever, we play in some pretty competitive tournaments, and we get some more competitive games, more so now than we did back in the day. So sometimes we just don't want to like mess with the players' flow. We just let them go out there and play the game, and we'll film it. But we don't want to do any challenges or anything like that. That's at that point.
That's like the interesting part about baseball. Like we've interviewed a bunch of bananas and people on that side. It's like the same thing of like, you can't script a home run happening from the other team at this point, right? But that also helps tell the story because it creates drama and tension, and it cuts to you guys as the coaches being like, hey, like what's going to happen? Like what should we do? And so the good news is that you at least have the games as like this through point, for the weekend, and then everything else kind of can just fit in, as you go. I mean, also it's like there's rain, right? There's elements. There's at some point the teams want to go home and turn the lights off. So you just have a lot of things that are like outside of your control in a baseball tournament compared to other sports.
Yeah, for sure. But that's the fun part. Like that's the fun part about it. When we're out there creating content, you never know what to expect, and so we have fun with it. The tournaments are probably like some of the most fun we have throughout the year when we create content. So,
what about the business side of CS99 TV in Pottstown? What does the business look like today, and how are you thinking about growing the business so you can continue doing this for a long time to come?
CS99 TV is like the overarching channel. It's Pottstown is just like one of the things that we do. 2025 was heavily focused, I would say, on Pottstown, and just like how can we continue to grow this and make it a little bit bigger than what it's been before. 2026 is going to be a good blend of a little bit of everything. We're going to bring back some other content outside of Pottstown, and then we have some pretty big plans to grow Pottstown in 2026. I don't want to reveal all of it, but it's definitely not just going to be a team moving forward. We also have some plans to bring the team some places and go play maybe in some areas that we haven't played in before. I don't know if you have any guesses. I don't want to say it, but maybe we'll play in some other areas. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we're just excited. We're always thinking of like how can we improve this thing and make it better. And again, like sometimes the budgets and things just get a little bit overlooked when we're doing some of this stuff. But in an effort to create the coolest content possible, like that's what you got to do sometimes. So yeah, I would say from a business side, we've been pretty good. Like it's been a good year. We have a lot of different like revenue streams now, which has made things a little bit easier, but we've also been making a bigger team. We just finally hired our first editor, which when we talk to a lot of other creators, they're pretty surprised that we have never had an editor up until now. But we do have an editor now. We're kind of outsourcing some stuff to free up our time so we can create some other content. But I would say 2026 is like the year to look out for us. We're really excited about it. Lot to come. So
it's awesome. I know one of the obviously the revenue streams is brand partnerships, and I think part of it is obviously getting the gear to the players because that's not cheap if you have to come out of pocket to do that. But you guys also did some product collabs this year. We were out in Omaha, saw you guys out there with you got the Wilson glove, the DeMarini bats, working with Evo Shield, you got the sunglasses. Just like talk about some of these partnerships, how important they are to the brand. I think it's like it creates a deeper relationship with some of your fans, some of the players. Like, you have kids all over the country swinging a Pottstown branded, DeMarini bat. Like, that's cool, no matter how you cut it. But that's obviously a business venture as well. So like, talk about how you think about these partnerships and how they help to grow or are an extension of the brand.
Yeah, like I said, when Wilson first hopped on back right after our first team and they told us that they would help support everything, they have been probably the greatest partner that we could ever imagine. Like anytime we ever need anything, they're more than welcome to just like send it our way and let us do our thing. So for us to have that, I think having good partners is so important. Wilson has been great. Just like you said, Vila Shades, we have our collab with them. We have our collab with Triple Crown Jewelry. And it's been a good thing because we don't really have merch available all the time because we do our own merch. So a lot of times when parents are looking for something Pottstown to get for their kids, like we have other stuff that our partners help us out with, and we're always trying to make the coolest stuff. So we have new gloves coming out in 2026. We have new bats coming out in 2026. We have a new chain coming out in 2026 just to make things a little bit bigger and better. And all of it is designed by us. So that's been one of the fun parts is we don't have anybody else design our stuff for us. When we show up to the Wilson HQ and we're just designing all our gloves and everything like that, it's all our ideas. So we have some cool ones coming out in 2026. But yeah, I would say none of this is possible without good partners and people that kind of believe in the vision that we have and like what we're trying to build here. So I would say look out for 2026. We have some cool stuff coming out, but yeah, it's one of the coolest things ever when you like pull up to a field and you see a kid with your glove or like a kid with your bat. Never thought that would ever happen, especially for me. Like I definitely never thought that would happen, that some kid would be swinging a baseball bat with my brand on it. Considering I didn't even play the sport growing up.
Dreams can come true, kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
You put out 27 long-form videos in 2025, plus the events, plus shorts, plus pro collabs and drops. Is that sustainable and something that you keep growing and supporting?
Yeah, I would say the one thing that we talk about the most is we are just getting started on long form. We've been very heavy on Pottstown, but like other long form content that we do is we don't do a ton of it. Our goal heading into 2026 is we're going to be doing way more. And that's why we hired some editors now to be able to help us out with that process. We want to be able to just do what we do best, and that's great content and not have to worry about editing the content afterwards. So I would say if 27 is the number, which I don't know if it is, but if you say so, I believe you. Our goal is to do like at least 5x that next year. And that's the goal. Not just all Pottstown stuff. We're going to have some other stuff going on as well. But we would say that from our point of view on 2025, we probably didn't do as much content as we could have done. But a lot of that was because we were building stuff behind the scenes and stuff that will be ready to go in 2026. So 2025 was kind of like laid back year for us on the content side, so we can build some stuff behind the scenes and get ready for next year. But we'll be posting a lot of stuff next year. So
what does the future look like for you? In 5 years, what do you want this to look like?
We ask ourselves that a lot, to be honest. And we don't really have like a long-term goal, even like 5 years down the road, to be honest with you. We pretty much take it day by day. Something new comes up every single day for us. So new opportunities, new ideas. And for us, it's been pretty hard to predict like where this is going to go. I mean, if you had asked me 4 years ago if we'd be doing like a team, I probably would have told you no. And we have some cool partnerships that we'll be announcing heading into 2026 and some stuff that we'll be doing that's a little bit different. So honestly, we don't really have a great plan. Obviously, I would say as a baseline goal, we just want to be comfortable. We want to be able to do this and not have to worry about anything and just be able to do this full time with all our guys. But outside of that, how that looks and how we do it, not really. We're very go with the flow kind of crew, going to be honest with you. Just like I talked about earlier, where we have zero plans when we roll into a tournament or a content shoot, we kind of just pull up and do our thing. So, but it's worked out up until now. Maybe not like the smartest thing in the world, but it's worked. So we'll just keep going until I guess it doesn't work.
It's like a super interesting way to think about it. Like I heard somebody talking about this last week. It was like an entrepreneur of just like, if I was planning 5 years down the road, well, then I wouldn't have saw this opportunity here, or I wouldn't have seen this here. And like, I still think like vision's important. Like, what is Pottstown? What do they stand for? Where are we taking this? But you're right. Like, you didn't know that you were going to make your own bats, 2 years ago. And so if you said, I'm only doing this, you miss out on this opportunity and this opportunity and these branches that come off from it. So it's like super interesting because you want to have a vision because you want to go somewhere, right? Like, but at the same time, you don't want to be so honed in that you miss out on all the fun that you're like, and you guys are still super young. Like, that's the crazy part, right? Like, you guys can mess up 10 more times and no one will even know. And you'll still be 27, 28, 29 years old,
Getting a little bit older. We're getting up there. The body's feeling it a little bit, but
wait till you're in your mid 40s. Then you start really feeling it.
That's what they're telling us. We were playing dodgeball against the campers, and Moen like tore his shoulder. So yeah,
Oh, all in good fun. All in good fun.
no, for sure.
By the time this video comes out, you'll likely have crossed 2 billion views on YouTube alone. When you hear that, how does it make you feel, and what does it mean?
Is that true? Is that are we
You're like 1.9 billion right now.
Okay.
So you're freaking close. Like,
That's probably the craziest thing. When you hear like the billion, like that's and to be honest with you, I don't even know how it happened. We don't really think too deep into that kind of stuff, how we got into the billions of views, but we don't really care about views. Like, I'm gonna be honest, and I think that's the one thing that maybe not every content creator thinks about, but I think we're never in it for the views. We're in it because we just love doing it. The views are just like a happy kind of cherry on top after you post that video. But at the end of the day, like, we just love creating content. So if we love making a video and we post it and it doesn't do well, like, it doesn't bother us. It's okay. The next one maybe will probably do well. But everything we do is it's not rooted in like a desire to get views on social media. We just hope to have a larger impact than that. And yeah, but if we get to 2 billion views pretty soon, that would be pretty cool. Maybe we'll have to pay attention to that one.
do some kind of celebration, like YouTube Live or something crazy.
We actually have never done like a YouTube live stream before, so maybe at some point we'll do that.
That'd be super fun. Have all those kids in the chat at the same time, like going crazy.
Yeah, for sure. I'll get like a big cake from McDonald's.
Who are some creators you get inspiration from?
I would say all the baseball creators, and I think more than ever recently, we've been watching a lot of golf creators, because a lot of stuff that they do is very I don't want to say similar to baseball, but like you can definitely apply a lot of that stuff to baseball and the way they kind of structure stuff. And so we have a full plan for our Pottstown videos and how those are going to shift a little bit next year. We have a new structure, I guess, for our Pottstown content for long form next year. And a lot of that is rooted in like stuff that we've seen on the golf side of things. And then we've been equated a lot to like the Mr. Beast of baseball, like back in the day, just kind of giving stuff away. We definitely pay attention to the larger YouTubers for sure, and like the ideas that they're doing, because we just want to do the biggest, coolest stuff that we could possibly do. We definitely don't have the budget that Mr. Beast has to do some of that stuff, but a lot of the times, like, our partners are very willing to help us do some stuff that we wouldn't be able to do on our own. I mean, buying 30 gloves and bats is pretty expensive, but when a company believes in what we're doing and they're willing to send it and we can go create that type of content, it's so much fun. So I would say like the Mr. Beast, the golf guys, and then honestly everybody in the baseball space, we're all pretty close. I would say every YouTuber in baseball is like really close with one another, and we all have a good relationship. So we talk to each other pretty frequently. I would say more than ever, I've talked with Leo, and I think you've interviewed Leo before. We talk to each other all the time. I think people, even when they created Disarm Elite, I think people think there's like a ton of beef there. There's not. Like, I was there helping Leo through a lot of that process of building that team for him and helping him out, kind of like little things that you wouldn't really think about. But creating a team is hard. Like, there's a lot of things you really just don't think about. We thought it would be so much easier when we did it. And there's so many back end things that you have to worry about. But yeah, we all have a great relationship. We all help each other a ton.
I think that's super interesting too, because like whatever the number is, right? If you have a couple thousand kids that apply to be on Pottstown and you're only picking 12 or 13, there's plenty of room for another team and another team and another team. And I think the friendly competition, just the jabs at each other on social, it's all in good, clean fun. And it obviously, it's the whatever, the tide rises all ships, a rising tide raises everybody. And so, I think the more that you guys do, it gives an opportunity for Disarm Elite. It gives an opportunity for maybe Aiden, to have a team, or for somebody else. And it just gives more kids also an opportunity to work with these brands. Like you guys have Wilson, but there's other baseball brands, as well. And so, yeah, man, I think it's creating a really fun environment for kids. And also it's interesting because it's almost like a goal that kids have now. I know you see the kid, I think he was just at your camp, but like he's on like day 418 of trying to be on like he's creating content because he wants to play for Pottstown. Like, that's cool. So it's like creating this goal for kids. And, we talked to, again, like Bill from the Bananas and stuff, of like these kids, you ask them, do they want to play for the Tampa Bay Rays or the Savannah Bananas? And you're going to get 50% say the Bananas now, and I think there's one of the first videos that went viral that you did. I asked you and your buddy Cam, would you rather play for Team USA or Pottstown? 5 years ago, every kid wants to play for Team USA. Now they all want to play for you. And so it's like this goal that kids are shooting for now, that's got to kind of feel fun and rewarding on your end.
It is really cool. And I mean, we say it all the time, like we can't take every player as much as we want to take every player that signs up. Like we just can't. It's rosters fill up so much quicker than you would ever think. I think there hasn't been a team that we've made where we were just like, man, I wish we could just like fit 2 more guys on this roster. So on that same note, when we get to see a D-Starman League come out and just other content creators making teams, like we have no issue with that at all. At the end of the day, we built this so that players could have a good experience, and whether they play for us or they play for D-Starm or maybe another creator when they make their team, that's the fun part about it, right? Like go play for a content creator, go have some fun, go play for a guy that you watch online all the time. Like that's the fun part about it. And we all have different, you're right, we all have different sponsors and companies that we work with that all believe in this too. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely we're not selfish in the way of, we want every player in the country to play for Pottstown or nobody else. Like that's not the case at all. We just want all players to be able to have fun playing the sport, and when they have to hang up the cleats, because that day is going to come for everybody, that they can look back and say that they had a great time and that their career was worth it. So
love that. All right, let's jump into some rapid fire, and then we'll let you get back to doing what you do. So first thing that comes to mind off the top of the head.
Who's the dream guest coach you want for Pottstown?
Bryce Harper. I don't think that's ever going to happen.
How many times a day do you get asked for free gear?
Oh, man. If we're at a tournament, it's over 100 for sure every single time we're out there. I would say we're pretty lucky that we're not we're not Mr. Beast famous, We're very niche because we're just baseball. So if I go out to just a store, unless you play baseball, you have no idea who I am. So I would say on average, let's go two times every day. And a lot of it is not even, sometimes it's not even from fans. Sometimes, squares. Once a glove.
If you could build a Pottstown scout team with international players, what country would you choose first?
Japan.
Good one. That's who beat you in the World Series, sir.
Yeah.
Good. Got some really good kids out there.
Maybe a little sneak peek as to what could be coming.
We know some guys out there. We played some good ones this year.
Let's go.
Which Pottstown scout team player has the best chance of making it to the big leagues?
Let's go Striker Pence. It's in the blood. And he's throwing 101 miles an hour. So that's
that definitely helps.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty good.
In the first interview we did together, we asked you what would be the Pottstown theme song.
Oh,
checking back in on the answer.
I watched that video again yesterday, and I still don't have an answer for you. I figured that might come up again, but I asked you as well, so you're not free either.
And what's really funny is I told him, I go, he's going to throw it back to you.
Yeah.
And you better have something. So real quick, the comments, we had All the Lights by Kanye West. We had Parking Lot, Travis Scott. We had All Right by Kendrick. A lot of Kendrick, a lot of Travis Scott, a lot of Drake, a lot of Kanye, a lot of hip hop there.
I would say one of our, what team was it? It was our 12U team in 2024. All the coaches were playing Forever. Chris Brown, I don't know. You probably have no idea what that song is. But we know the song because we're a little bit older, but
it's like the inside joke of the squad.
Yeah, so we were blasting that song pretty much everywhere. When we were pulling into the parking lot at Boomba, all windows down, we were blasting that song. I could probably put that up there just because the coaches all know it, but I don't think a single player knows what that song is.
Love that. All right, moving on.
What's the best piece of advice you've received from a coach or mentor?
Best piece of advice. I would say for me, there was a quote that one of my coaches gave me as a kid. I forgot who said it. But it was it's ever tried, ever failed, no matter, try again, fail better. So basically just don't be afraid of failure. You're gonna get knocked down more times than not. And that's the same thing that we tell our guys, you play baseball, you play a game of failure, and that, you can't be afraid of that, ever. So that has been something that has carried me throughout my athletic career, but also through my professional career and creating content. So I'm very willing to take risks and very willing to fail because it's just it builds you up. It makes you better. And that's a quote that has stuck by me. It used to be in my Instagram bio for a long time, back when people used to put motivational quotes in their Instagram bios, but it's no longer there.
What's one thing you're looking forward to going in 2026?
I've alluded to it a few times. We have some stuff coming for Pottstown. We don't want it to just be the same thing over and over again. We will obviously just be making teams and putting into some tournaments, but we have some stuff that goes a little bit further than that. So that would be what I'm most excited for, which is probably not the greatest answer because I'm not actually saying it, but soon enough we'll have an announcement out. So
Adam, man, thanks so much for doing this. I know we've been trying to do this forever. We really appreciate it. Fitting us in a couple days before Christmas. Super fun. Obviously, we'll link everything up. And just thanks for the time, man. You've always, since the day we met you, just been nothing but gracious and a great guy. And we love what you're doing over there. And, you know, the way you're representing the game has just been super fun.
Appreciate that. Thank you, guys. If you ever need anything, you know, you let me know. And if you ever want to interview the other guys too, we'll make that happen. We will be in Florida in April. So if you want to do a little bit of an interview down there, like an in-person thing, we could do something there too. But we'll have a tournament down there in April.
Love it, man. Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Yep. Thanks, Adam.